Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Golden Opportunities Coaching YouTube channel. Welcome to those of you who are new. Welcome to those of you who are seasoned veterans of what we do around here. We've got over 400 audios available for your listening pleasure in a variety of topics, some of which may be useful to you. If there's a topic you'd like to see us cover, then certainly we'd love to hear that. Please comment below if there's something we can do for your benefit. How to make a better version of yourself is today's audio. That's what I do in my coaching practice. I've worked with over 15,000 people in nearly 4 dozen countries now over the last going on 14 years. It'll be 14 years in October. So I think I've got a pretty good handle on the types of things that people deal with, and I'd love to be of assistance to you. Life, business, relationship, and creativity and entertainment coaching are services that I offer. If that's something you're interested in, please feel free to reach out. The best way to do so is right here on this YouTube page. You can go to the About Me section. My website is there, or you can give me a follow on Twitter at PO Perception. Now, how to make a better version of yourself. We're going to run through about 7 or 8 things that will do that. Number one, you become more self aware. Self awareness is pivotal to kind of advancing oneself. That is the present moment mindedness to be able to see your strengths and weaknesses objectively, places where you need to improve, places where you're stronger than other people might be, and where you can kind of tap into that strength and even strengthen relationships or circumstances professionally, personally, spiritually, and emotionally because of those things. But in order to be able to do that, you have to be aware of your own value. So, spending some time with the determination of your own value is an essential part of getting here from there or there from here. The next thing is understanding the ripple effect that you have on other people. Look, every action you take that is in front of or around or another person, or that another person will be impacted by, either directly or indirectly, is a ripple effect. And when you begin to understand that every action you take, unless it's in the privacy of your own home with nobody watching, can have and does have a ripple effect on other people, friends, family, loved ones, potential partners, spouses, children, and the like, then you're in the level of self-awareness to be able to maximize every interaction, because then you begin to understand. Now, obviously, we filter about 70 to 80,000 things in a day. We obviously can't be thinking ripple effect every second of every day, but when it is at the center of kind of one of the backlog thought processes we have, we begin to have more powerful relationships. And there's also the point where you will get to a place where you don't care, or where it's ineffective to care as much as you would about the effect you have on other people. If, for example, you've been in a toxic relationship and there's a person you just can't please, or there's a situation where you can't gain ground or come to compromise, sometimes the ripple effect of someone not liking you or being unhappy with you is something you have to radically accept as a way to move forward. Understanding and discerning the ability to be able to do that is also imperative to healthy relationship development. The next one is understanding the value of mistakes. Yes, I said value of mistakes. Look, there is no such thing as the perfect person. There is no such thing as the person who is above misunderstanding something and or above making a misstep or a misnomer. I use the word misstep because I don't believe in the concept of mistakes, such a path taken that is a complete miss. Because I believe that even in the moments where we misstep, we can learn something. Some of the most valuable life lessons I've ever learned are when I was out of step with what was in my highest good, be it relationally. Man, I've had some relationships that were complete missteps, be it professionally, things I didn't know that I thought I did, be it spiritually, beliefs I held that weren't healthy for me. All of these things happen for you too. And when you begin to understand missteps based on lack of knowledge or misperception or misunderstanding can be something that can be course corrected, then you have true power. The vulnerability to admit when you're wrong is another sign of becoming a better version of yourself. Being vulnerable in general, realizing that showing a softer side, showing emotions that some may consider weak or negative, is a part of social development, but it's also a part of interpersonal dynamics. In other words, if you portray that you're strong all the time, good gosh, you're going to fall on your face. You are going to fall on your face sooner or later because when we believe that we have to portray, then we're wearing a mask, and sometimes the vulnerability of saying I just don't want to do this. Yeah, I have those days myself with my chronic pain challenges due to my rheumatism that nearly killed me almost, well, actually over 2 years ago now. And truthfully, had I been humble enough before I got that bad to admit I'm vulnerable and I can't do what I'm doing anymore, I probably wouldn't have ended up nearly half dead. So the vulnerability to admit when you've reached your limits, the vulnerability to admit where you need to regroup and kind of take yourself away from the situation you're in or the responsibilities you have and figure out what you can and can't handle, that is a sign of growth and personal development in a really positive way. The next thing is getting to your root causes. There are things you want in your life, and you may be motivated by some misperception or false programming. In other words, here's an example. Do you really want a job that requires a 6-year degree, or are you trying to please your parents? Do you really want to be married, or are you afraid to be single? Do you really want the family lifestyle, or are you being nagged at by family, friends, and other people around you? What are the root causes of your motivating factors? What's really interesting is the things that motivate us when we're teenagers, the things that motivate us when we're in our mid-20s, the things that were motivating us as we approach 40, the things that were motivating us when we approach 60, and the things that motivate us on our deathbed are all mostly going to be, they may have some common themes, but they're going to be different things. What I want when I'm 25 and what I want when I'm 45, I hope, are different things. What I want when I'm 25 and what I want when I'm 65, I would assume are going to be different things. But understanding the root causes of what motivates us and also the root causes of our leftover traumas, the things that cause us to hold ourselves back, or to be more hurt or to be sensitive, that can be really, really valuable because when you can articulate in, let's say, 1 to 4 sentences why you are the way you are in a way that other people can understand, then you have more transparent relationships, which means you're going to be more fulfilled. But in order to have that level of fulfillment, you must understand the root causes of why you do the things you do. The next is the change in the type of person, the archetype of person that's in your inner circle. Now, when you're a teenager, you might be attracted to the partier. When you're in your 20s, you might be attracted to the intellectual. When you're in your 30s, you might be attracted to the family motivated person. When you're in your 40s, you might be attracted to the person who's trying to relive their 20s. And so your inner circle and the needs of those relationships and the purpose of those relationships are going to change over time. Giving yourself the ability to be able to go, I'm not as attracted to this type of person anymore. I'm not as attracted to this type of situation anymore. And that doesn't mean I sold out. It doesn't mean I'm a bad person. It just means my needs portfolio has changed. Kind of checking in with that every year, every 3 years, every 5 years, super valuable to getting the most out of the human experience. The next is never losing sight of the fact that you have choices in everything. Even if you're in a totalitarian regime governmentally, you still have the freedom of choice. Now, you may not like the consequence that comes with the choice. I chose to stand up to a leader who was less than kind and got physically punished for it. I chose to leave a relationship and went through homelessness. I chose to say no to my kids and now they're not talking to me. I chose to A and now B. Now, that doesn't mean we didn't have choices. And one of the biggest things I hear people say that frustrates me is I had no choice. No, let's be more honest. You didn't have a choice you liked. You didn't have a choice you believed in. You had other choices. You just didn't have one that fit with where you wanted to go. When we're more honest with ourselves, then we take more responsibility for the choices we do make and less passing the buck to other people and thus falling into victimhood. The last is the student-teacher relationship. So what I mean by this is be willing to learn, be willing to grow, be willing to get to a new place pretty consistently, but also be willing to be a student and a teacher in all situations. So this can look like I am willing to teach somebody who doesn't know a lot about broadcasting how to do it well, but I'm willing to learn about different mental health conditions I'm not as schooled in. This could mean I'm willing to teach someone how to improv act because I've taken improv classes, but I don't know anything about, I don't know, choosing the right video or audio equipment. I'm not a techie guy. So put yourself in the position of always being in either the position of the student or the teacher, and you'll get more out of the value of your interpersonal connectives. This can even go with friendships and relationships with children, relationships with a partner. When we feel like we're bonding by either learning something from someone or teaching somebody something, it actually builds and strengthens the rapport we have with that individual. So hopefully this has been helpful. I encourage you to keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Till next time, everybody.